The puma is mentioned and described throughout chapters 3 through 8. So it's possible to trace her experiences in detail, most of them horrible, such as being cramped into her transport cage or spun around by the tackle while being unloaded. Once arrived, her surgeries begin immediately. She doesn't appear in Chapter 9 only because Prendick has left the compound to escape her screams. Her voice changes in Chapter 10, after only a day or two of surgery, to the extent that Prendick is convinced that Moreau is operating upon a human person. In Chapter 14, Moreau speaks of intervening extensively into her brain, occasionally so distracted by his hopes for success, as he puts it, for a rational being, that he sometimes loses his train of thought when debating with Prendick. Whatever degree of human mental processing is developed by Moreau's techniques, which, as I argue in this chapter, is considerable, is well along its way. It's also at this point that the reader learns her gender. By the opening of Chapter 17, after the 6-week break in Prendick's narration, she has been subjected to almost 2 months of constant and extraordinary agony, permitted to heal between sessions only to be set upon again. When Moreau enters his laboratory, she shrieks, and here the text employs an interesting term. So indurated was I to the abomination of Moreau's laboratory that I heard without a touch of emotion the puma victim begin another day of torture. It met its persecutor with a shriek, almost exactly like that of an angry virago. What happens then is simple. She does what no other beast person has done, even those made from animals probably stronger than she is, such as the oxen or the bear. Either she pulls her chain out of the wall upon seeing Moreau, or she did so during the night and has been waiting for him. She hits Moreau with it, not employing her teeth or claws, and breaks Prendick's arm on her way out of the compound, then runs onto the beach. When she perceives Moreau pursuing her, she takes to the brush, escaping him briefly. The confrontation between her and Moreau must be reconstructed from what Prendick and Montgomery find almost a day later. When Moreau caught up to her, he shot her through the shoulder, but she was still able to kill him, again using the chain. She collapsed from loss of blood from the bullet wound, and she either bled to death or was too weakened to defend herself from the other beast folk. Her body is found gnawed and mutilated. The Puma Woman, as I shall call her, is an actor, not merely acted upon. She extends the leopard man's relatively passive defiance, becoming more than a skulking victim and sinner. Consider her experience just prior to the escape. What did she know? What did she think? How long did it take to get that chain out of the wall? Was it a sudden surge of adrenaline, or had she tried all night, or even, possibly, over many nights? Her cry, almost that of an angry virago, isn't it the most easily identifiable moral voice in the story? Her agonized screams provided the backdrop to Moreau's and Prendick's debate in Chapter 14. Now, isn't this new cry, delivered not in agony, but in anticipation, effectively her decision to participate in that debate herself? Here, the story taps into the issues of justice that Moreau's and Prendick's debate missed entirely.